This video is not intended to be a how-to video. It is just for entertainment. I will go through some of the issues I experienced while working on this snowblower. I am not an experienced mechanic, just an old retired guy trying to fix something himself. There is a link to this YouTube video that I went to for help in the comment section. Back in February 2025, we got an unusual snow in North Carolina. So I got out my snowblower that I brought with me when we moved to North Carolina. It had been sitting outside next to the shed for several years. As expected, when I got it out, it wouldn't start. You can see here it ran for a little bit with the gas I poured in. I spent some time in the heat of the moment trying to start it before I parked it and shoveled by hand. A link to the video from last February is in the comments. That brings us up to January 2026, where I take another look at this. Next thing I want to do is, last winter I tried to start the snowblower and it wouldn't work. It would run if I would put gas in the spark plug hole. But so I'm thinking everything is good except maybe the carburetor. So I tried to take the carburetor off last winter in the middle of snow and I didn't have much success. So I'm going to revisit that now and see if it's easy enough to get this carburetor off to check things. Looks like the tires are flat, so I don't want to try to ruin anything. So I guess I might as well get the pump out and get it pumped up. Alright, looks like it says 22 pounds, so we'll put a little bit in here and see what happens. Looks like this is a tubeless tire. Yep, I don't have enough seal to get this started. I guess it's worth a try to get the big air compressor and see if that'll get this started. Well, we'll see if we have any better luck with the bigger air compressor. Oh man, there's always something not. Well, plan C. We'll see if we can get that into the shed without tearing the tire up and try something else. Alright, I'm going to put that on hold, determine whether it's worth the effort to pump it up. If I can't fix the carburetor and get it running, then fixing the tire is not a priority for now. Had trouble finding my 10mm. I guess somebody didn't put that away when they're done. I don't know who that could have been. Of course, this is a box wrench and I'm going to need an open end, so I'm going to have to do some more searching. Well, we'll go to plan C, try some miniature vice grips. Let's try the box again, see if that works. Nope. Let's go look at the socket, see if that's still a problem. Nope, that doesn't work. More searching for the 10 millimeter. Well, I think what I'm going to do is plan D. If you look right here, this red metal is sticking out just a little bit too much, and I don't think it has any necessary structural strength, so I'm going to try to Dremel tool an eighth of an inch or something off of that so I can get a socket on there. We'll see if that works. Well, we'll see what we can do with the Dremel tool here. Well, neither the socket nor the box wrench fit, so back to more grinding. Alright, wrench is on. Now hopefully we can get it out. Amazing how easy that works. Now I just got to find some touch-up paint to keep that from rusting. Alright, now hopefully all these are the same size. Okay, those two are. We got one more on the back side there. Before we get too far here, let's make sure we still have the same problem. So we'll start checking the tank for gas and that kind of thing. There is gas in the tank, probably not very good. Not sure this primer is working properly. Let's try to find the gas line. I can't even get to the gas line without taking some more stuff off, so see if we can do that. Actually, you know what? We can check the gas in the carburetor here. See if we can catch the gas in this so we can take a good look at it. Don't see a lot of dirt in it. The gas doesn't look too bad, but it's sort of stopped running out. So I need to check to see if it has a shutoff valve or not. I would expect gas to keep running out of there, unless there's a stuck float or something, so I don't like that. I still can't get the cover off. Looks like I got to take the whole recoil assembly off to get to where I can see the gas line and the carburetor. Probably didn't need to take that off, but at least now I know. Aha! This goes all the way through that and into this bracket. Of course, can't make anything easy. Put that back so we don't lose it. Okay, that side's loose. Now all we got are the knobs. I like to think this knob pushes off and on, but we'll have to check it out, see if we're lucky. You can't see very well in this video, but I'm trying to get behind that panel with a screwdriver and pry the red knob off. I would have thought that come off easier than that, but I don't want to break it. I really don't think it's coming. Let's go to plan B. See if I can take some more stuff off here to unhook the cable. What I'm trying to do is get this cap off so I can see the linkage better. Not sure what's involved. Finally, after moving those two tubes out of the way, I was able to get that cap out. That knob's got to come off, but I don't think it's going to come off without breaking. Trying 2 screwdrivers here to see if that works any better. Hey, I don't want to break that thing. Let's take this off, see if we can get more visibility. Well, that didn't help much. What I'm trying to do is access this tube here, take it off. But this is the end of that black red knob that I'm trying to get off. I can't get that off. I think it's finally starting to move. All right. Got it off. Hopefully it's not broken. The shroud still does not want to come off. Something on the carburetor is holding it. Oh man. Guess I'll see if I can Google this specific model number and maybe that'll give me some more hints. So after checking another YouTube video, it looks like this hose is what's slowing this up from taking off all the way. So I'm going to try to get this clip up and the hose. Now that I have the clip off and pushed back, I'm trying to get the hose off So I'm turning the hose to try to break it loose before I push it back off of the metal piece. That hose is pretty dry rotted. I hope I can save it. Let's get this out of the way. Probably should have taken that off first anyway. Man, why is that so hard to get off? I think I remember that from before. I hope I don't have to tear that hose apart. Got this a long time ago and never used it. Maybe it'll actually come into play here. Well, let's see if this works. It's pretty nice. They have different angles. That was a lot of effort. Let's see if we can take off this tube. Alright. This tube is off. Looks like I might have to take this off down here. Oh boy, I don't know if that's going to be easy or hard. I guess we'll try it. See if we can get this thing off without breaking anything. Of course, that's not going to come either. Of course, I bumped the camera right as I got it off. Okay, now that we got this out of the way, I want to see if I can take this gas line off here. And we'll see if it's plugged up, if we got gas coming out, etc. So it's probably going to make a mess. Take this off. Hopefully I get this back on here. This only goes one way. There's only one hole. Okay. Here I'm trying to use the pliers as a crowbar to push the rubber tube back. guess while we're here, we might as well drain the whole tank. Since there's more gas in the tank, I needed to pinch the tube while I went and looked for another container to drain it into. Doesn't look too bad. More gas in there than I thought. I ran out of Gatorade bottles. Alright, that looks pretty drained. Hopefully I can remember how to get the carburetor back on. It looks like this wire can only go one place, and this one will probably come right up. So well, let's start taking this apart, see what we got. That does not look very good. I apologize for the lighting. I need to do a better job of that in the future. You can't see here, but the needle is free and it moves up and down. This gasket is pretty bad, so I'm not even going to take it off because I'm afraid I'm going to ruin it and I don't have another one to put on. The needle itself doesn't feel and look too bad. I'm going to go get my headlamp, see if I can see in the main jet hole. Well, it's pretty bad. We're going to do the best we can. We may have to buy another carburetor, but that's not going to happen soon, so we'll give it one shot here and see if it works. Trying to remove the main jet. Get one shot on the screwdriver here, and this one is too small. So I need to find another option. I might do some searching. This flathead bit is too small as well. I found a different flat screwdriver bit, so we'll give that a try. No luck. I'm going to sacrifice this screwdriver. And the first thing I'm doing is squaring up the tip. Now I need to take some off of both sides of the shank as it's The problem was this shank was too wide. We'll see if will work now. Looks like it's still too wide. I don't have video of it, but I went back to the grinder and ground some more off. I think I got lucky. So, probably not going to show anything in the camera, but it's definitely plugged up. Yeah, I tried blowing it out with this pressurized can. That didn't even work, so we'll try a wire, see what happens. This wire is too big, so I think I have some really fine drill bits. Let me see if I can find those. Alright, so I got this through. Of course, we have no idea if this is anywhere close to the right diameter, but that's all I got now. It actually feels kind of loose on here, so maybe it's close enough to the original diameter. So we'll take this outside and blow some stuff through it, see how that looks. So when I went outside and blew in here, I got nothing out of this hole, so this is probably plugged up too. So we're probably pretty much screwed on this carburetor. I feel we're going to have to just wait for the new one. Unfortunately, I was not in front of the camera, but I was using my drill bit and poking around in the hole where the float needle goes. Here I'm actually pulling the drill bit out farther so I can reach down further into that hole. Well, one last try to get this off. That opens up that one hole. Trying to get better access into the side with my drill bit. Tried bending my wire to get around that 90-degree bend going to the inlet to the carburetor from the gas tank. Probably break something here, but I think this carburetor is toast anyway. I got it broke and loose. At this point, I'm still thinking that it's threaded on there. Well, it wasn't threaded in there, it was just pressed in. Again, poor use of the light by me, but there's a screen in there that's embedded into the body of the carburetor. Pretty limited to what I can do here. So the last thing that's happened, I was able to get this off. There's a screen in there. I blew it out from both sides, nothing happening. New carburetor's on order, won't be here till Wednesday. Today's Thursday and the storm's coming this weekend, so you'll probably miss this storm, but if I feel motivated enough to put the new carburetor on, we'll see what happens next week. Meanwhile, I'm going to put everything back together just to kind of hold all the pieces in place. In hindsight, I probably should have just drilled a couple of holes into the screen with the drill bit, especially since I was probably going to throw the carburetor away anyway. This pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next videos, I'll be working on some projects around the house, as well as replacing a short handle on the garden hose and possibly installing the new carburetor.